We got 14 people. Hello everyone. How are you? Let me see the chat. Can you hear me well? How are you? My name Ali. I am from Spain. Welcome, Ali. Milano, excuse me, Milano. This is English channel, and the comments should be in English. So I apologize to every one of you, but this stream is in English. Yesterday, I made an Arabic stream. But on my English channel, I prefer to keep it English and the comments also to be in English language. Thank you all. Can you hear me well? Great. First of all, I wanna apologize for my crappy English. My English become very bad nowadays because I'm not using it too much. I'm not speaking English too much nowadays, and this is what made the English channel. I received comments from many people telling me we don't understand your videos in Arabic language. We want a translation. This is my brother in the back. So I decided to make an English channel first for the audience who are not Arabic speaker. Second, to get my English back because maybe not all of you know that I'm a pilot. I used to speak English fluently, but since more than 2 years now, I'm not speaking English that much. My English become very bad, so I'm very sorry for my crappy English. So I made a post on Facebook asking about questions you have about iPhone and iPad repair, and I will answer them or answer it here in this live. I'm doing this live to introduce my English channel because not everyone know this channel. Most of the people they know my Arabic channel, but this is a different one. So I'm doing this live stream to introduce you to my English channel. First of all, if you are first time here, my name is Ayman. I am a former engineer in Nokia and operation manager. I have 21 years of experience in the mobile repair field. Right now, I'm a CEO and owner of two workshops, one in Egypt and the other one is in UAE. And I have two training schools. They are workshops and training schools at the same time. So um, my expertise is in Apple devices, not uh, other devices, because this is what I receive here a lot. Most of the people here in UAE have a lot of Apple devices, not Samsung, not any other brands. So, without humbling too much, let's go and read the questions. If someone have a question, you can drop it here as well. So, first question from Mido Hisham. iPhone 6 Plus on power supply turned on and keep using it for to 5 minutes. He mean if you keep using it for 5 minutes, it's doing a restart, and when use battery, it keep restarting. You should check the resistance of the battery connector, and I guess this is something related to the SWI, the two pins in the middle of the battery connector. And 6 Plus has a famous defect. Uh, there's a line from the Tigers IC to the CPU. this line tend to fail a lot. I think you should remove the Tigress and check resistance underneath. And before you do that, you check the connection between the SWI line in the battery connector, and there's a filter in the middle between the Tigress and the battery connector. You should check that filter. Otherwise, remove the Tigress, check the resistance underneath. If the resistance is okay, there's a solution for that. And I don't know, I cannot publish it here because I don't know how to drop a link while I'm in a live stream. So you should contact me by Facebook. I will drop you a link for a solution for the SWI line between the Tigris and the CPU because this tend to fail a lot. The second question from Josh Taz Nimar. Excuse me if I say the names wrong. Things to check before ascending order. Things to check from ascending order to get path to data for purpose of data recovery. For data recovery, we check the voltages coming out from the power chip to make sure that all the voltages needed to power the NAND chip and the CPU is there. Then we check if the phone is able to connect with the computer or no. Today I had a phone came from another shop. The other guy, he was trying to replace the U2, the USB IC, and the phone became totally dead and not connecting to the computer. And the data was very important to him. So the first thing I did is trying to connect the phone on the power supply and check the reading on the power supply. What is the status? Is the phone is booting, the CPU is booting, or it's boot looping, or it's stuck on the DFU mode? What I found that the phone is in DFU mode, which is uh, it's like between 40 to 80 on the power supply, the reading of the current consumption. So why that phone is not connecting to the computer even it's in the DFU mode? So I removed the U2 IC and I replaced it with another one. I found out that the problem was from the U2 IC he replaced, and this is very common. People replace chips and they are considering it like this is uh, I put a new chip so it should be working. No, when I was in China, I saw the people who are selling the chips. They have the chips with no packaging, and they put it by themselves in the packaging. And when you want to buy something, they ask you if you want to have the original chip or a bold chip or mix. So the suppliers in your country, maybe they sell you a used chip. Maybe they give you one good, one bad, one good, two bad, like that, to save money and get more profit. So you should never like depend on one chip. You should do many of to like two or three maximum, not many, two or three maximum chips. So after we check the voltage of the power supply for the power supply for the NAND and the power supply for the CPU, we go check the NAND itself by removing it, put it on the programmer, then we try to read it without ad- adjusting anything or editing anything or reformatting or anything, just to check the health of the NAND, if it's reading or no. Then we check underneath the NAND because there is lines between the CPU and the NAND. if those lines are broken, the CPU will not be able to communicate with the NAND. So the phone will be stuck on DFU mode. So you have the power IC output, you have the NAND pads, the connection between the NAND and the CPU, you have the USB, and if after all of that you cannot find the problem, you have to do a software. You have to do a software. You have to check for long screw damage as well, also, because the software will give you an error. This error will give you a hint or a clue where is the problem. If the phone came to me for data recovery and the board is like totally damaged, I remove everything and I put it on a new board. The CPU, the baseband, the baseband EEPROM, the NAND, the anti-rollback or logic EEPROM, I remove them all. I put it on a new board so I can turn on the phone and get the customer data. So this is the two questions we got from the Microsoldering and data recovery group. And let me refresh to see if we have more here. Then I have another post on my personal page. We'll see if someone put something there. Then I will get back to your questions here on the stream. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. For Muslim people, Ramadan Mubarak to you. I apologize again. I'm very sorry. I will not answer any question in Arabic. I like to keep this channel in English language. Joe Bodali, I'm very sorry for the misreading the name. For the question, all the parts we need in board repair, refurbishing donor boards like iCloud is preferred, or there's another source for supplying our needs, or mixture of these sources. You know, Joe, I like to keep donor boards as much as I can. It's very cheap to source chips from it. Sometimes you cannot find donor board, you have to buy the chip. But for me, I prefer the donor boards. But as you can see, it's a mix between both of them. So this is the questions. The channel is very small and not too much know it. And let's see your questions here. Oh my God. Again, the questions is rolling very fast. Nikos, I learned about Chinese chips the hard way. Yes, yes, everyone does. I didn't expect to see that in China. That the people are doing. I even have a video for that. I was expecting that this chips comes from a factory, and this packaging done by like huge machines, big machines, but it's actually not. I saw the people putting it on the table and taking it one by one and putting it in the cellophane, and it was like shocking to me. Jihad Khalid, what you can say about engineers who want to pay pay a premium buy a premium tools, but they cannot do that because the country not allowed, or they cannot ship it from other country and it's not exist in your country. So let me make sure that I understand your question very well. I have students came to me from Palestine, and with the war there and everything, they was able to get professional tools. So you should not think like this is a step down or this is not allowing you to improve. You should find a way. Even you will pay much more. Of course, you will find a shipping company can bring you the tools, and if you pay more, you will be like the advanced guy in your country, and everybody else is below you. So you can get back this money fast. Solutions of smart devices. Please explain full board swap. It's very easy. You just need to take the CPU, the NAND flash, the baseband, and the logic EPROM, and the baseband EPROM, and putting it on a new board. Not new, like let's say you have iCloud board, and this iCloud board, you don't have the iCloud and the customer don't have it. So what you need is to bring the chips from the damaged board and put it on the iCloud board, and that's it. You see some people doing something by programmers. They are transferring the EPROM data because EPROM chip is very, very small, very tiny chip. And if you lost it, your process is ruined. You cannot get this chip from another device, and the data recovery will fail. So what they do, they have a programmer. They connect it to the baseband because baseband is connected to the baseband EPROM. So when they connect it to the baseband, without removing the EPROM chip, they can read the data on the EPROM and then transfer it to the other board. Same with the logic anti-rollback EPROM. Uh, Daraboka Master, I hope that I said the name right. How much is oscilloscope is important for professional workers? Oscilloscope is very important because it's the precision way to read signals, to find out the signal is created or no. If you have a signal like clock signal for the oscillator, you have to have oscilloscope to measure it. Like you can measure it on voltage, but that would not be accurate. But by oscilloscope, it will give you the good reading, the right reading. And if you have a problem in the baseband or in the power or the I2C lines, and you want to see if the CPU is creating the signal or no, measuring voltage is not enough. Measuring diode mode is not enough when we are talking about signals. But to see the signal created by the chip, by the CPU, this is very important because you may have the voltage, you may have the resistance value, but the CPU himself or itself is not creating the signal. It's not switching, it's not shorting the signal to ground to make it like 0 and 1, 0 and 1. You cannot measure signals by diode mode, you cannot measure it by voltage. We assume that the signal is there when we have a voltage and we have a good resistance value. But we cannot confirm that the chip who is creating the signal created it. How much the temperature and air and heat while removing the CPU? Many people ask me this question in Arabic channel and in English channel. I say always The heat is not important. The airspeed, it's not important because they are not the only thing controlling the success of the process, because you have the weather around you. You have the nozzle, the diameter of the nozzle of the hot air. This is the nozzle. This, if this is big, so if you put the temperature is very low, that will allow a lot of heat to go to the board. Uh, I always say that you should practice because it's depend on how fast are you. Because if you are taking long time to hold the chip and removing it, like you reach the chip with shaking hand and then you hold it, then your tweezer is not good, so that the chip uh, like getting loose from the tweezer, then you try again. All this time, even you have low temperature, all this time will make like the temperature is higher and higher on the board. And if you want to monitor the temperature on the board, you should have thermocouple. Thermocouple is a device like thermometer for the board. We put it on the board to monitor the temperature. This is like we use it in the BGA machines, like the machine which is removing the chips by itself, not controlled by hand. But when I start to learn, I I used it. I used it to calibrate my hot air station. Because imagine now your hot air station is different than mine, and I tell you, go and use 360, and 360 in your station is like 250 because the number is different than the actual temperature. So you can use this to calibrate your machine to know exactly the temperature is going out, how much of the temperature is going out from your hot air, then the time, then the nozzle diameter, then the temperature of the room, then you are using a metal holder or a holder from fiberglass, because if you are using a metal holder, this will absorb too much heat. Whatever heat you put, it will absorb it, so it will take longer, so you feel like you need to increase the temperature. So many variables. What are the payment methods I you offer for tools? I don't ship tools. I don't sell tools. If you are interested to buy tools, not from me, from AliExpress or Amazon, you will find it under this video or under any video you watch on this channel. There is a description, then you will find show more, then there is a list of my tools. And the thermocouple, I have a link for it below. I'm watching your last night live. I will watch this one when I finish. Thank you, Ayman, for your time. Thank you, Hana. I hope I say your name right. Ayman, another question. Any idea on Eaton's microscope brand? I see some review their products and seems the quality of the optics is the same as Scope brand, but your eyes is the best advice to me. I never tried Eakins, but there is some of my friends, I trust them, they told me it's okay. I cannot compare it to my AM scope because uh, I never tested. Hannah, not Hannah, Hannah. I'm sorry, Hannah. Hello, Ayman. Even iPhone 5S have a 4005 error. Is a problem with the NAND chip? Look, my dear, I cannot pronounce your name. Dinork, I hope it's right. I don't like the guessing game. Go check. If you are suspicious about the NAND, go check the voltage, the power supply voltage of the NAND. Is there or no? There's 3 voltage for powering the NAND in 5S, 3 volt, 1.8, 1.2. Go check them. If they are there, okay, they are there. Go check the resistance value. The diode mode is okay? Yeah, it's okay. So guessing it's the NAND or no, it's not good. You should remove it, put it in a programmer, and try to read it. If it reads, then reball it. Maybe the problem is reballing. Reball it, put it back, try again. If the same problem, change it with another one. If it's the same, measure the resistance underneath. If it's the same, it's CPU. Would a pent Darine Lawrence, would a pent lower iPhone X board be a good repair candidate or data recovery only? You should remove you should replace the lower board. It's very easy to get the Wi-Fi and get the baseband and put it on a new board. Then you should have EEPROM reader and programmer, because the EEPROM, the baseband EEPROM in iPhone X is very tiny and it has like underfill around it. So if you try to remove the underfill, maybe you scratch it, and if you hold it with your tweezer, maybe you will lose it. So you should buy EEPROM programmer. I will put a link for it after we finish this live. I'll put it down below. Uh, and read the data from the EEPROM and bring another board, put the Wi-Fi, put the baseband, and before you put the baseband, you should reprogram the EEPROM by the old data from the pent board. But to fix like something is already pent, how you will fix it? How you will make it straight again? Have you iCloud removed from iPad Mini 5? No, iPad Mini 5 is not yet supported. iPad Mini 5, iPad Air 3, iPad Pro third generation, 2018, 2019, 2020. All these devices not supported yet. Not supported by the programmer itself. Could you do schematic tutorial for beginners? First, you should know English very good. Not very good, like in a decent amount. Then, schematic tutorials. You have to learn how to read, not to read, what are the objects in the schematic? The resistor, what the resistor do. This connection is parallel or series, and the capacitor, when the capacitor fail, what it will do. If the capacitor is connected in series, if it fail, what it will do. If it's connected in parallel, what it will do. You have to know this information first. Then you start with the deeper part, the shortcuts, the names of the lines. This is very hard to do on YouTube. I'm sorry, really, it's very hard to do, and not too much people interested on this, because I see a lot of videos on YouTube already teaching how to read the schematics, and there's no much viewers, and uh, I cannot get your feedback. Like, you understand me or no? On YouTube, I cannot get your feedback. It's like one way. I'm teaching you this, you understand or you don't understand, I cannot know. So take my advice and go to a repair school to learn more about schematics. Um, when doing swap, I prefer transfer Wi-Fi IC2, which takes no more than 10 minutes, rather than pay $800 for programmers. What about you? Okay, you are talking about like one case, but I use the programmer to bypass iCloud. I use the programmer because I get some phones like the Wi-Fi chip is damaged and I have to replace it with a new one. I cannot do that without removing the NAND and unlock Wi-Fi and then install the new chip. Uh, Sometimes the NAND itself is dead. Sometimes I receive a phone and the NAND itself is dead. So have to have a programmer. Did you try to retrieve the data with where is the question? Uh, yeah, here's. Did you try to retrieve the data with Box EG JTAG Plus? I didn't use Easy JTAG since long time. I used it to I used to use it to retrieve data for Android devices. I don't know if it's supporting iPhone now. I'm sorry, I'm using GC. I'm a big fan of GC. Not big fan. They are the only one has it all. I don't like to have Navi, then Magico, then too much people asking me about Magico. By the way, Magico is a new brand, and I already have my GC. I have two of them, one here, one in Egypt. Why should I pay more money to buy a programmer that I don't need? If they decided to send me the programmer for free to test it and give my feedback, I will do. But till now, I don't have any reason to try it. If one of my programmers become dead, maybe it's cheap, but I feel it's like the same team of the IB box. I don't know why. Same interface, and I hate IB box. IB box team crap. In case of an where is the question? In case of an iPhone 6 with failed CPU, can we replace the CPU with an iCloud phone CPU? Will work? No, it will not activate. It will not activate because the CPU has encrypted data, and this data, like doing matching, like if you bring another CPU, this is will be a mismatch. If you have like a board, not iCloud, like you have a board, but this board has a long screw. The board itself damaged, but the CPU and the NAND and the baseband and everything is working fine. So if you remove those parts and put it on the board you have with bad CPU, you now combined two boards into a one working phone. Your opinion about TriStar Hydra Tester, is it worth to buy? If I feel it's worth to buy, you would see me using it and recommending it, and you will see in the tools it's worth it. It's like $200. No, the chip is very cheap, and to replace it, it takes like 5 minutes. So I don't recommend buying those tools. Don't buy too much tools. Concentrate about the good precision tools. Don't waste your money in a small tools. You will never need it. What do you think about Checkrun boot room exploit? I have no idea about that. I'm not interested to learn or do the bypassing by software. I left the software since long time. It's not bringing me money same before. The unlocking and the software, I'm not doing unlocking because you go to the server, you see that this service will cost you this amount, and it will take like 1 week. You tell your customer it will take 10 days. Then the service take 20 days, and your customer is complaining and fighting with you. No, bring my money, give me my money. And you don't have the money, you already paid. So I don't do any service which is not done by me in my shop. I need I need to information about CPU swap temperature and cleaning. What amount should I use? Ghulam, I already answered that question. Please see this video. The replay will be available tomorrow. Schematic without a board view are not all the informative. In combination, they are useful. Micromage repair or micromage repair. Of course, the board view made the repair process easier. Before, when we have only schematic, it takes us a long time to do the measurement and know where exactly this connected to that. Board views are amazing. I love them all, and people ask me which one I should use, WoxNG or ZXW. I say you should use both because WoxNG have the advantage of the block diagrams, but it sucks in the layout and board view. It really suck. But then the ZXW doing a great job in the board view, point to point, but it doesn't have the block diagram. So I use both. I recommend you to use both. If you are short of money, you can buy first the WuxNG. But I have to warn you, it needs good internet speed. Without internet speed, it will be a nightmare. It will hang, it will crash. Without good internet speed, don't buy the WuxNG. What is the best way of using heat mobile valley heat gun on IC without damaging other components? You have to manage your time, you have to manage the nozzle diameter, you have to manage how far you are from the chip. Try to be close as possible. Don't like the board is here and don't do like that. No, try to be close as possible. What about FCL? I already said. When iPhone storage is full and phone boot loops, and after update you get error 14. Is it possible to get the data? No, it's not possible because now the system on the NAND is corrupted. You need to remove the NAND and do a format for the partitions and return it to the phone and do a clean restore. Unfortunately, if you stuck with an error, you cannot uh, get the data. If you like this live stream, please tell me so I can do more of it. Just hit the like button so I would know if you like it or no. Whoever doesn't like this stream, whoever doesn't like my crappy English, hit the dislike. Whoever like it, hit the like, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of my coming videos and you won't miss any of future streams. I will try to do more of this. I find it a really good way to communicate with you as a community. I like to be in touch with you all. Micromag repair or micromage do something beside repairs. I That's what I feel I'm good at. By the way, I'm a pilot. I'm a diver, so that's enough. Do you know any device that unlocks screen lock? Where? The question's very cell phone fix. Do you know any device that unlocks screen lock password in the iPhone? Before, uh, we had the IB box version 1, and it was only supporting till iOS 8. So right now, there's IB box 3. To be honest, I never tested it, but other than that, I didn't see anything or didn't come to my knowledge. Only 23 people liked this video. Oh my god. Hit the hit the like button. I want you all now. Hit the like button. And if the subscribe button is in red color, that means you didn't like this video and you didn't like this channel. Should be gray. What are the common cases that bootloop iPhone X? That's a very open question. That's really very open question. The phone can boot loop for many things. Like there's a short in part of a circuit, the phone will boot loop. Any circuit, the phone will boot loop. The NAND is corrupted, the phone will boot loop. The software is corrupted, the phone will boot loop. The signal, or it's not coming from a chip to the other chip, so the other chip will tell the CPU, I'm not receiving this signal, please do a restart. So maybe the IC will wake up and give me the signal. This all the cases of the boot loop. So it's not like 10 reasons why the phone boot loop. It's in infinite reasons. And I cannot list them all, but you have to diagnose, to first see with your eyes. The board have a physical damage. The board like have a broken screen or broken chassis. The phone has liquid damage. The phone have something getting hot. Then, if everything is okay, deal with the phone as it's a dead phone. Go check the battery line. Go check the main line. Go check the output of the power supply, the power manager chip. Go check the signals. Many people don't know how to check the signals because many people also they don't have oscilloscopes, so how they will check the signals? So if the phone boot loops, you have first to look by your eyes, then do the measurement. What do you suggest to learn first as a technician? I really didn't understand. Make your question specific so I can answer you. What do you suggest for a beginner tech to learn in this field of fixing phones? I suggest to start. To start. Don't sit and think, what should I learn? Start. And the learning process doesn't have an end. Every day you start doing something, you will gain experience. Just start. We have 33 people watching this stream. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I hope I'm not bothering you or wasting your time being here on doing this stream. Which microscope and soldering station do you use? Go under this video, click show more. You will find all my tools. iPhone X error 4014. Most common problem is NAND, RAM, or CPU, right? Right. When we say the NAND is a problem or the CPU is a problem, not only the NAND and its circuit, not only the CPU and its circuit. Maybe there is one coil broken or desoldered from the board between the power manager and the CPU. This coil can cause the CPU to give you an error 4014. So it's not only the CPU. Don't go and remove the CPU. You have first to check the voltages for the CPU to turn on. Then, if you have like one voltage is missing or it's not sufficient, not enough, then you follow the trace. Same with the RAM, same with the NAND. Cell phone fix, you're pretty good. Keep on streaming once a week. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. No, that was answering the how to make money fast. Tell me about short killer for iPhone X. Short killer, it's a good tool, but very dangerous tool because it uh, give the phone a shot of very high ampere. And I use it. I use it. And yesterday, I it helped me to fix iPhone X without disassembling the board, and I got $100 for that. So the short killer itself cost $100, and I was able to get it back from one phone without wasting my time to disassemble the boards and rebuild it and assemble it again. One phone was able to bring me back the money I pay for short killer, and this is not the only phone. I did many phones with it, but you have to be smart when you are using it. If you put it on the board and uh, you see the short, you can hear it's beeping, but then like few seconds passed and the short is not gone. So it's not something with low resistance to be cut. It's definitely a chip. So my guideline to use the short killer, only use it for maximum 5 seconds. And try to use it in a low voltage, like if you have a short in the main line, the VDD main. When you turn on the short killer, it's starting with 1.5 volt. Try with 1.5 volt. If not, try to increase the voltage, but don't go to the maximum, like or don't go beyond the maximum. If the line is 1.8, use 1.8. If the line is 2.5, you use 2.5. If the line is 1 volt, use 1 volt. But the short killer is not effective in many cases. Like if you have a leakage, not full short. If you have a leakage, it will not feel that this is a short. Like you have a cap shorted and you put the short killer and the short killer was able to cut the cap to half. But still there is a residue and this residue is making a leakage. The short killer will not feel that uh, there is a connection. You have to remove the cap by yourself. Sometimes it gives a perfect cut and the short is cleared completely, but sometimes after the beeping is gone, you see that the phone is consuming a little bit of amps, and the short killer will not be able to detect that or do anything with it. Can we know the faults, Muhammad Abdulaziz? Can we know the faults from the panic file? Panic file and iTunes errors. It gives you a hint, not it's not direct instructions. It will not tell you go do that. No, software is not like that. Repair is not like that. It gives you a hint. As I said 1 minute ago, it's not the CPU. Maybe one coil in the supply circuit for the CPU is broken. It's not the CPU. Excuse me, guys. What we have here, 65 minutes. No, it's not 65 minutes because I started this stream way before 8:30 to check the quality. I don't see any other questions. I hope I answered them all. Hello, greetings from Poland. How are you, my dear? I have an iPhone 7. The problem is that the videos in Safari cannot show image, only play sound. The iPhone has iOS 13.4.1. Is this maybe a software problem? Of course, I resetted the phone. Dinork, I had a customer with the same problem exactly, and he told me this has happened after he updated his software. I really don't have an idea if it's a problem in Safari or it's a problem in the phone, or I feel it's a software issue. I feel it's a software issue. It's not related to hardware. Because if you play any other video out of Safari, it will work normally. I have seen that. I don't see any new questions, so I'm trying to read the old ones, but there are too many, and I feel like I answered most of it. Solutions of smart devices. Nowadays, people facing after changing audio chip on iPhone 7 lose the baseband and IMEI. Can you explain without losing baseband? I will do a video for that. I did a video on my Arabic channel uh, changing audio IC with the temperature of 500 and big nozzle. That's like extremely dangerous. But in my training in my school, I show this to every batch of my students to make them not afraid of the heat and show them that the heat is not the reason why the baseband or why they destroy the phone. The problem is they don't manage the time and uh, they don't feel the heat gun is a part of their body. You know, when you are trying to learn how to drive a car, When you start, you feel you're unable to control the car like the same way after you drive like 1 year or 2 year. The car will be part of you. You can do donuts, you can do like pass by another cars in a very short distance because you feel that you have control. If you're still afraid of temperature, that means you still don't have control. And how to gain control? Practice. Practice. I will do the video showing uh, how to remove the audio IC on 500 degrees, full air, big nozzle, without destroying the baseband. I'll do it. But nowadays, with the current quarantine, I don't have much time to do videos. I work only 2 to 3 hours a day, so I apologize. Sorry, I apologize for that. That's why I do the stream nowadays on my Arc channel and English channel. Ayman, another question. Any idea? I answered that. I answered that. I answered that. Okay. Devilstone, love you, man. Dinork, you're welcome. Wishmaster, thank you. You are the one. Nishad, iPad Air 2 iCloud bypass done. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi not working. 2 IC change. Yes, I'll do a video for that. But you need to change the IC number 250. The last 3 digits in the IC is 250. You need that IC. Or you can take it from another Air 2 or Mini 4 uh, PCB, but Wi-Fi, not 3G, because you already converted the device from 3G or 4G to Wi-Fi. So the device need the Wi-Fi chip of the Wi-Fi, not the 4G. Yes, sir. Nice. Thank you. Muhammad Dujamil. Ayman, just last question. Can you speak and share with us your experience of self-business on mobile repair shop from beginning and how you grow up in your evaluation came from A to Z? Okay, I'll do it, Muhammad. Stick around. I'll do it, but in another stream because we already now spent like 1 hour, and this need 1 hour alone. But to give you an idea, I was lucky to work in Nokia UAE. That helped me to improve my skills very much and gain like the base of experience I have right now. And uh, not only this, but not only this, you should not uh, consider like I need to go to this school to have experience. It helped, but it was not the only reason because I left Nokia in 2013 and then I worked as a pilot. I have a license. I worked as a pilot instructor for 2 years. Then I got screwed by someone and I left my job and I couldn't find another job with the hours I have. My hours is pretty low, and here in UAE, they request very high experienced pilots. And uh, I lost all my money then, and I started to think I have to do something to be able to earn my living. And I started, and I will share my shop when I started on my Facebook page after I finished this stream. Started very small, but because I was working in Nokia as an operation manager. I learned business, and it's a hobby. It's a skill. It's a skill actually. Every money I got, I think the earpiece will finish. All the money I got, tools myself. I spent a long time not buying new clothes to buy tools, and I kept trying till I improve. Every time I do something, it's it's uh, it's not smart that when you do something and fail to try the same way. You have to try different way. So I kept trying, and I think God helped me a little. Not a little, of course, too much, not a little. Ayman, can you advise what is the main reason to make a conflict between haptic and volume up? I actually never seen that. I didn't see that ever, so I really don't have any idea about what you're saying. Shout here, Philippines. Thanks. Keep humble, my friend. Thank you. We all love Philippines. Syed, Erhan, Ayman, I'm a big fan from India. Just say hi, bro. Thank you, Syed. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, this stream. I can see there's no questions. That's because the channel is small. You should see last night the questions on the Arabic channel because I have a 40K subscribers, 40,000 people subscribe to my Arabic channel, Ayman Ahmed, youtube.com/ Ayman Ahmed, and I'm trying to grow this channel, and it's dedicated to the people who doesn't speak Arabic. So please subscribe, help me to grow this channel, and share it with your friends. Share the videos and let me know if you want to see something specific in the next upcoming videos. Contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/ImanThe RepairTech. And I want to thank you so much for your time and for helping me developing my English again. Very sorry if my English annoyed you. Uh, I want to say bye to all of you now, and I'll see you soon, inshallah. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.